What's up, y'all? It's your man DX, and I'm back in here again doing a sort of a bonus video. I was trying to go live last night, and had a few glitches when I was trying to play this video that I found of Phil advised Show Scott saying that he met his wife on Plenty of Fish, a hookup website. And like I said, had a few glitches, and it ended up making a video file that was 28 minutes long that was mostly just music, and then it cut out and came back in, and for some reason it just cut it there and then started on my other topics for the night, which was cool, but that part about Phil didn't ever materialize the way I wanted it to. So I'm doing this bonus video so you guys can understand what I was saying about that video I played of Phil. So, but before I get into that, let me remind you, if you know that you rock with me and you know that you should be subscribed to my channel, just go ahead and verify that. Check to make sure that you are verified or subscribed to my channel. Since YT is playing funny style with the subscriptions, want to make sure that if you see a notification bell down at the bottom on the right hand side, bottom of this video, go ahead and click on that so that you can be reminded whenever I drop a video or when I go live. Also, hit the like button and go ahead and share this video across any platform here on the internet that you want to. Instagram, Facebook, whatever. If you are not subscribed to my channel yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join the B1 family. Alright, now, I played a video last night when I was on live, didn't go right. Let's take a look at that video now. This is a video from back in October. Some of you probably have seen it, but it's a video of Phil from the Advice Show telling how he met his wife. Now let's go ahead and take a look at that.
How did you meet your wife? And you know, how did that whole situation transpire before we get into the details of it?
I was single at the time. I was dating here and there, but nothing got serious with anybody. And remember you remember that website POF?
Yeah. Okay.
So she had messaged me on that website. She messaged me, and so we had a little short conversation, talking. Everything was cool and straight. So she came up here. We met. Like I said, we hit it off, like pretty quick. And I thought it was, strange just to hit it off that quick for me, And I even told, like my homeboys, I said, hey, I met this, woman, and she real, because when I first met her, she had, cooked, for me right off the bat.
Okay.
She did, first came, she said, hey, they got like I think she wanted some chicken or something. And she said, I said, they got Popeyes. I said, Popeyes? They don't have Popeyes where I met. So I said, you want chicken? You don't want to go out to eat or nothing? He said, no, I want some fried chicken. I said, okay. So I took over there to Popeyes, got the chicken, red beans and rice.
Okay.
Honey, all that.
She kept it hood with you.
Yeah, basically, like I never, expected that. I thought, most women want to take them out nice.
You had about $100 in your pocket ready for the date, and you only had to spend about 18 of it.
There's so much to say about this. I hardly know where to start. First of all, he kind of got dissed right there at the end of the video, but of course, Phil is so thick, so dense in the head that he didn't realize he was being dissed. But the guy interviewing him, Minister Jap, he said, well, she kept it real hood with you. And Phil, yeah, she did. Yeah, basically. They said you had $100 in your pocket and ended up you only had to spend $18. That's a straight up diss, and it went straight over this man's head. He's so dumb. He basically was saying your wife was a cheap date, basically. So that's where I want to start. Now look, I don't want to seem like a snob, but, and I'm not the type of guy that flashes money and stuff like that to get a woman, or when I meet a woman and talk to her, flash money and all this other stuff. Never have been. So my points here are going to be laid out in that type of perspective. Just remember that. But I have to say that if a woman wants to go out with you and she doesn't expect anything more than some Popeye's chicken, that's kind of pointless to me. I mean, I'm not being a snob. Nothing wrong with eating fried chicken at Popeyes or wherever you want to get it, Kentucky Fried or whatever. But you can do that without me. You don't need to go on a date to do that. So, you know, as I indicated yesterday, I knew about POF, Plenty of Fish, back in the day. It's been around a long time. And to me, it's basically a budget brand eHarmony. I do believe that some of the people on there are looking for a relationship, but most of the people on there are looking for a hookup. So here's how it worked for me back in the day. I was single. I was doing my thing. I checked out Plenty of Fish, to sort of hook up and meet some friends, go out, whatever. So I started to notice a trend. I'm not trying to say like I'm all that, so don't think that either. But if you halfway decent looking and you got something going for yourself, most women are gonna at least give you a chance, give you some play, see how it goes. They might even flirt with you. So I've had that all my life, right? Because I've always been a go-getter, and I'm a decent looking guy. I've always been a go-getter, get things, get what I'm out there to get it. I'm a hustler. So they like that. So I checked out POF and back in the day, and I noticed a trend that almost every single woman. Now there were a few that I met up with. I call them meetups. I didn't call them dating, because when you meet somebody one or two times, it's not dating. Okay, it's just meeting up and getting to know, right? So I noticed that even though there were a few women who didn't really kind of like me for whatever reason. I'm not everybody's type, and I'm not trying to say I am, and nobody is. So they wouldn't like me like that. They wouldn't be rude. They would like me as a friend or something, but they didn't like me like that. So there were a few of those, but the majority, about 85% of the women that I met off of there, were either instantly trying to get into a relationship, trying to ask me questions like, so are you going to take your profile down now? And I'm like, huh? And they're like, well, we met and it seems like we like each other. So I'm going to take my profile down. I'm like, you are? I didn't ask you to. And then it's like that on the first date, so there's some desperation and stuff like that. And to keep it a buck, to keep it 100, to keep it real with y'all, most of the women that I met off of that site, they actually wanted to go bed me down right then. They wanted to take me to bed, either my place or theirs. And I'm not exaggerating. I would say about 60 to 70% of the women I met, and I met a lot of women on there. I mean, in other words, I was turning down the P. You know what I'm saying? So it's a site where if you halfway decent looking and you got something going on for yourself and you a man, a real man, it ain't hard to hook up. So what got me is that the way how surprised he is in this video that a fat Mexican would be hitting it off with him so well. Because when women are desperate, well, I guess men too, but I wouldn't know anything about that. But women, when they're desperate, just like men, if they're desperate, they make things work out. Okay? They put the extra effort into it and they make things work out. So most of the women I met up with off of POF back in the day, they made stuff work out, if you know what I'm saying. They were extra flirty, a guy like me, I can tell. If you got game, you can tell when a woman's flirting with you and when she wants to move forward with you. I mean, they do things like laugh extra hard at your jokes. They'll put their hand on your knee, and that lets you know it's okay to go ahead and touch them in some kind of way, hug them, whatever. They want to take it to the next step with you, so they give you little signs. And when you get to know these signs when you date enough women. A woman, when she's comfortable with you, or she wants to feel comfortable with you, and she wants to take it to the next level, for whatever reason, she gives you these signs to let you know the door is open. So they'll touch you on the leg, on the knee. They'll laugh extra hard. They'll play with you, like play fight with you, punch you a couple of times real soft, you know, stuff like that, letting you know I'm open. So that would happen like 7 times out of 10 for these women that I would meet on POF. Like I said, I think the majority of it wasn't that I was all that. It was that these women were desperate. So some of them were really fine too, really nice looking women. And I wondered, like, why are they so hungry to be with somebody, and what happened in their last relationship? Because I always question everything. So in Los Angeles, there's a lot of people from all over the world. I would say on Plenty of Fish, I met probably 20 or 30 women that were from other countries and just got to Los Angeles. And some of them were trying to marry somebody in a few months so that they could stay here in the country, stuff like that. I remember this one Japanese chick. It's just a quick story. This one Japanese chick, I kind of liked her. She was very, very cute, very funny. She had a nice personality. And yes, that's back when I was dating other races. I was young, so. But she would invite me over. Like she worked, she had a work visa, and the work visa was running out in about 4 months. So she would invite me over and make dinner for me, make all these Japanese dishes, including miso soup. I remember that one. That was one of her favorites that she made for me. It was actually pretty good. She was a great cook. And I was sitting there, you know, and all of a sudden one day, because I hadn't made any advancements toward getting serious or anything like that, and one day she just says, "You think you want to be married sometime?" And I'm like, "Well, maybe," or whatever. And then she starts explaining to me how her visa is going to run out, and if we want to keep continuing to see each other, then, you know, basically she's going to have to extend her visa, and then we might be able to get married, and am I open to that or whatever? And I'm like, hell to the no, not just at this point, because I had only been seeing her like a couple of weeks, right? So I immediately just was like, no, can't do it, can't do it. Can't do it. So I just left it alone, you know. And then there was another one, quick story, that was from the United Arab Emirates. Again, very nice looking, nice personality. She didn't try the cooking thing, but she would hang out with me, and we had so much fun watching movies and going out and all this other stuff. We went to amusement parks, all this stuff. So 2 weeks and stuff. So she's, and stuff, speaking of feel, 2 weeks. So she's 2 or 3 weeks we're going out. So she's sort of priming the pump, dropping little hints about what's going on with her. So she told me this story about she can't go back to the United Arab Emirates, and she's in LA permanently, but she can't go back to visit her mother. And I said, well, why not? She said, well, because my father would kill me. I said, do you ever get to see your mother? And she said, yeah, when I go back to the Middle East, I have to meet her in Egypt. I said, oh, why? And she goes, well, my dad will kill me. I said, so what do you mean about your dad will kill you? What do you mean? He'll just beat you up? I mean, he's not going to be happy. He's going to argue at you, what? And she's like, no, he'll actually kill me. He'll take his sword and he'll cut my head off. I'm like, whoa, really? And she's like, yeah, if I set foot in the Arab Emirates, somebody will let him know that I'm there, and I won't make it for a week. I said, wow, crazy. So she was a nice girl, very nice looking. She had nice personality, and she wasn't into the cooking thing, but she liked to have fun and all that. But then I immediately left that alone. So my point with those 2 stories is, anybody who's in a major city and you're on Plenty of Fish, or at least back in the day, it ain't hard to find somebody. It's really not. In Houston, which is where Phil is the fourth largest city in the country. So there's a lot of people there also from other countries, from other, towns, other cities. So, so back to the point. He met this fat white Latina, and he's just overjoyed about it. You could tell in this video that I just played, he's overjoyed about it. And he's like, wow, I'm surprised that it worked out and blah, blah, blah. And looking at his wife, I mean, why would you be surprised? That's just the type of woman. I mean, she's not that great looking. She's big. I mean, I hate to be totally sounding like I'm shallow Hal or something, but looks do matter, and she would be desperate, okay? I can just tell. So that right there. And also, you can tell from the beginning she liked to eat, and he could tell she liked to eat, because notice what he said. He said, yeah, I took all down to Popeyes, and we got the fried chicken and the biscuits and the honey and everything. And the fries and the honey and everything. I'm like, dang, y'all like to eat. That's what y'all had in common. Y'all like to grub. That's the main thing they had in common. They both like to eat. And look how big Phil has gotten. Because honestly, if you guys are new to watching Phil or going over there or were new and then you recently in the last couple of years found out about Phil, 4, 5, 6 years ago, he wasn't that big. So obviously she's been blowing him up with some food, with some of them burritos and tacos and all that stuff. He's been scarfing it down. He's been eating that stuff. So he was surprised, and then he was like overjoyed that she only wanted like to eat some chicken. Now back to that. If a girl told me all I want is some Kentucky Fried Chicken or some Popeyes chicken, I would also be like, well, you don't want any more than that? But I would be saying it in a way like, what's wrong with you? Because, like, are you just like that ghetto, that budget brand, that, are you just that, ratchet or low class? Not that I have something against eating Popeyes or whatever chicken, Church's chicken, KFC. It's fine, but that's not for a date where you meet somebody or meeting up. So what I used to do is let me keep pointing towards the mic. I know my volume went down. Keep pointing towards the mic when I talk. What I would do is I wouldn't even meet them for dinner, because I'm feeling like, and as somebody who's had game and always had game and has game, when I would meet women on the first meetup, and it's not a date, it's a meetup, I would meet them after dinner. And you might say, well, that sounds like you're being cheap. Well, you got to realize when you're looking for someone or trying to look out there for some friends to hang out with or whatever you're doing, it can get expensive to be taking everybody to dinner. And you don't know if you like this person from just sending messages on Plenty of Fish website and talking on the phone a couple of times. You don't know if you like this person. So it's not actually being cheap. It's just being frugal and being sensible. So I would meet them after dinner and buy us both some appetizers and some alcohol if they drank or whatever, because that's a good way to make somebody loosen up and tell more about themselves, because I want to know about the person. I don't want to know about their representative. People put a representative up, so we need to get a little alcohol in you. And it doesn't have to be a lot, just a little bit of alcohol, and women will start talking. Probably men too, but I'm just saying women will start talking. You put a little alcohol in them. So I would just do reconnaissance on them, and I would be like asking little questions and all that. I'm a very cautious person. So I wouldn't take them out to dinner. What I would do is I would take them to a nice restaurant after dinner hours, or a bar or something like that with a dance floor or something, or a jazz lounge with a bar and just sit there and talk to them. Probably more likely a restaurant or a jazz lounge or something like that, where they have soft music but on a jukebox or something playing in the background so you can hear each other, and just have a couple of drinks. So like I said, oftentimes, about 60-70% of the time, they would ask me, okay, where you going now? And you want me to come with you? Or, hey, you want to come over here with me? Trying to set it up for us to go ahead and spend the night together. You know, I know the deal with that. So I'm not going to say that I never accepted, because I did a lot of times. But a lot of the times I turned it down because I wasn't into doing all of that. I had too much to lose to be trying to bring all these females to my house, or going to all these, you know, you can get into some stuff in Los Angeles. You don't really know who you're dealing with until you start dealing with them. So I would, a lot of times turn it down, about half the time, and half the time I would go with it and see where it happened. I mean, I'm just keeping it a buck. So needless to say, I've been with a lot of women, but okay. So kind of the last issue I have with this video is that why would you be telling someone that you met your wife on a hookup site like Plenty of Fish, POF? I also said this last night, and I clarified that if I had met someone back in the day on POF that it worked out with and I got serious with and I ended up marrying, I would not tell people in this day and age that I met my wife on Plenty of Fish. I would make up a different story. We met in the parking lot at Albertsons or at Ralph's or something, or we met, even just driving down the road and I stuck my head out the window and said something, or we met at the library, we met somewhere else. I would not tell people I met my wife on POF. And that doesn't go for all dating sites. I mean, just a few of them in particular. Like, I think it's okay to tell somebody you met your wife on eHarmony or something like that. That's totally designed for that, for romance and stuff. But if I met someone that I eventually got with and married on Plenty of Fish, I would make up a whole different story. That was my point. So I even last night read this message right here that I got from somebody who left a comment on the video that I did as a precursor to the live broadcast, telling what I was going to talk about. And this message right here. So in this comment right here from somebody named Mike Roy 258, which I talked about last night on the live broadcast, he says a few things. One of the things he says is, it sounds like I'm basically dissing people who are slow, talk about people who label as slow, and I'm dissing them. No, I'm not. I'm not doing that, because I even said in my video precursor to my show last night, I said, do you guys think that Phil is for real slow? Because I'm starting to feel bad for going in on the dude so much, because I want to get my blessings in life, and I believe in karma, so I don't want to be going in on the guy if he's really for real slow. So no, I wouldn't do that, because I'm a more compassionate person, that I wouldn't go in on somebody for being actually slow. I always thought, to me, that Phil seemed like he was disingenuous and very dishonest, not slow. So I was asking my viewers, do you think he's really actually slow and I've been wrong this whole time? So no, Mike Roy 258, I wasn't going in on people who are slow. Also, I addressed last night a couple of other things he said in this email here, or this message here, this comment he left on my video. He says that the reality is all black men are a little slow. No, they're not. I agree that they throw our people in special education when they don't really need to be there, and they put our kids on, our boys on Prozac and fix up the vaccinations and do. I agree with all that, but a lot of black people, especially black women, mothers, are starting to realize that it's not a good idea to take that doctor's advice and put your son on Prozac or lithium or whatever the heck they put them on now. So that's a good thing. So no, all black men are not slow. I'm one that's not slow. So I was asking the question if Phil was slow in a serious manner. I wasn't joking. So there's a whole lot of black men out here who are not slow. They're very competent. They run businesses. They're very educated. So no, all black men are not slow. And luckily, we're getting our boys off of those drugs that Team WS tries to put them on. Also, he says here that I admitted to doing the same thing, which is dating somebody off of POF. Wrong. No, I didn't. I didn't admit to that. All I said in the video precursor to last night's live show was that I knew about POF from back in the day. I know that Plenty of Fish has a reputation of being a hookup site. That's all I said. Now, as I explained earlier, dating somebody is when you go out with them multiple times and you're working toward building a relationship. At least 3 to 5 times you've been out with them and you're working towards a relationship. Anything else short of that is just meeting up and getting to know. And that's what I did mostly. Never took it to the dating stage because I didn't meet anybody of the quality that I was looking for, to be totally frank. And my other point was I wasn't shaming people who date online, because lots of people do. I'm not shaming them either. What I'm saying is, if I had met somebody on Plenty of Fish that I eventually married, I wouldn't tell people. That's what I was saying. Nothing wrong with online dating. Nothing wrong if you happen to find that one needle in a haystack, which I didn't. But if you find that one needle in a haystack on one of these dating sites and y'all get to know each other and you know that each other's different and you click and it works out and you get married, there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm not against that. But I wouldn't tell someone I met my wife on Plenty of Fish. I just wouldn't. I would make up a different story, like I said. So anyway, that's going to be just about it for me. I thought I'd just clarify this segment because the live version of this had some problems, and hopefully this will clarify a little bit about this, about Phil saying that he met his wife on POF. Now, before I go, I have to remind you that if you think that you are subscribed to my channel, at least you think you should be, and you rock with me and you like my content, then make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. Just verify that. And if you're new to my channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button and join my B1 family over here. We would appreciate it. And if anybody who's watching right now, if you see a bell, a notification bell down at the bottom of this video on the right hand side, click that bell so that you can be notified when I drop a new video or when I go live with a video. Okay? And speaking of going live, I plan to be on live again this Thursday or Friday. Most likely it will be on Friday evening. I'm going to plan on going on usually around 5:30 Pacific time, which is 8:30 Eastern time. So go ahead and catch me then. Also, you guys go ahead and share the video around any platform that you want to. Facebook, Instagram, right here on YouTube. Just go ahead and hit that share button. And of course, hit that like button. Let's get this cracking, okay? Let's get this thing going. And until next time, this is your man DX, and I am out.